everyone, my name's Emily from Canada and I'm here from the Emily in Korea channel. Today we are here in Sincheon-yok area. Right here behind me we've got Hyundai Baekwajeom, Hyundai department store, and this area is famous for having many different universities. One of those universities is Yonsei University, which is part of SKY, the 3 top universities in Seoul. So in this area you can find so many foreigners, lots of students, and lots of people coming here to hang out and enjoy Seoul. So today our topic for our channel is asking foreigners about the cost of living in Korea and comparing it with their home countries as well. Okay, so let's go and see how people feel about the cost of living together. Let's go. Hey guys.
Hey.
Do you mind introducing yourselves, like your name, your home country, and how long you've been in Korea?
Hi, my name is Maurice Turner Jr. I'm American. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've been living in Korea for 8 years.
So hi, I'm Ilario. I've been in Korea for 1 year now, and I'm from Italy, precisely Milano.
Hi, I'm Simran and I'm from India and I've been living here for 1 year now.
My name is Stacey. I'm from London, England, and I've been in Korea for almost a year now.
And you're pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you find Korea expensive to live?
I don't think it's too expensive comparing to, cities like New York, LA.
Coming from India and the currency differences, yes, I do find it expensive.
Oh.
I thought that it would be cheaper because of the rate of won as compared to rupees, but oh my god, boy, was I wrong.
Oh.
It's so expensive. I mean, to be honest, it's not that expensive as compared to other countries that I wanted to go to. But still, as a student managing everything on my own, yeah, it's difficult to manage.
So I find that Korea expensive in some ways, but in other way not so much. It depends on the thing you're doing in Korea, in my
Yes.
opinion. So it depends on your lifestyle and like.
I think it's a lot more expensive than I anticipated. But for me personally, I think it's a little bit cheaper. There are some things that are on par with London prices and other things that are quite a bit cheaper.
Oh, okay. So, for example, how much do you spend a month on like housing?
So my apartment is 400,000 per month, which actually I'm a teacher, so my school pays for that, which really helps me out. Utility bills are really cheap in comparison. In England, we pay hundreds per month, but here, like £50 maximum.
So I stay in Gyeonggi-dan, Itaewon, and I pay about $7.15 for the month. That's included with utilities.
I live in Hondae area. In Hondae area, even though it's kind of central area, kind of a hotspot, I don't pay as much as I would pay in my home country, in my home city, because Milano is a bit more expensive than other cities. And so, for example, here I would pay like $400, and in Milano I would pay around $700, $800
Wow, so
on one room. I live in one room.
wow, so it's almost double then.
No, yeah, it's almost double.
Wow, that's a
But
lot.
my city is a little bit expensive. So.
Yeah, right.
So I'm currently living in a shared house. It's called Borders House Korea. If anyone as a student who wants to come here, I would definitely recommend them. They have a lot of like housing places in Korea, but for my rent, I'm paying 450,000. And since it's a shared house, you live with a lot of other people and you have a lot of, you can make a lot of new friends. It's really convenient and easy to live there. I'm currently living near Korea University, so everything is like walking distance from me. And it's a pretty good place to live in. So Wireless House Korea.
How
Okay.
about your utilities?
My utilities are all included in the rent.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's nice.
My rent is 400,000 and utilities are 500. But since there is a price increase these days, they're gonna increase like 20,000 won from June 2023.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
that is-
How about for your bojungam, your deposit money? How much did you have to pay for that?
And for deposit, I put out 500,000. So it's not that expensive.
Usually in the Itaewon area, you're paying like 10 million won, 15 million, up to 20 million won. But for my house, I'm paying 5 million won. I'm staying up the hill. And for those who know Itaewon, like Itaewon has some major hills, near Namsan.
Yes, it does.
But it's pretty cool. I got a nice view. It's not as convenient as like Haebangchon or like the lower parts of Itaewon where there's some markets and grocery stores, but for the view and the quietness, like it's a good trade-off.
So, what about transportation? Do you find transportation? How much do you spend a month usually?
Transportation is the cheapest thing.
Mm.
I love it so much. I can't talk about it enough.
Oh.
So, for example, I live in the countryside in England, so it's about an hour into London. And I was working in London when I was back there. It would cost me £15 one way.
Oh, one way.
Let alone traveling within London when I get there. Versus now, a round trip to school is 3,000 won. £2. It's crazy. I love it.
Yeah, that's a huge difference. That's so much
Massive.
more comfortable for you, I bet.
I pay per month probably around 130, maybe 150,000 won a month. I'm going to the gym or I'm swimming in the morning. And my weekly routine things, it adds up pretty fast.
So for me, I'm actually counting how much I spend every time I go. So for buses, it's like 1,200 won, and for metro subway, it's 1,250. That's why I don't take the subway. And for Indian rupees, it's fairly around 70 rupees, which is again bit expensive than how much it is in India, but you reach everywhere in seconds. Like by subway, I came from Korea University, which is like by bus probably in 45 minutes, but with subways was 29 minutes. So everything is very fast and very clean actually. Like I didn't expect it to be that clean. People don't talk. We are the foreigners, so we just keep talking on the subway. Okay. Yeah, but I've never been outside of Seoul yet, so I'm not sure how much it takes to go outside Seoul. But yeah, inside Seoul, everything is very convenient and easy.
I also want to add to that it can be a lot more cheaper, for, let's just say if you're an English teacher, you're working the typical hours, maybe a 9 to 5, 9 to 3. So you may not be going as many places as I am, like as a freelancer, I'm moving around a lot. I have multiple jobs, multiple things I need to get to and do. So it can come out pretty expensive, especially these days. But like if you have, one job and you're doing that throughout the week and you get home, that's pretty much all you're doing. It can be really affordable.
Yes.
So don't worry about that.
So for transportation in my city is way more cheap. It's cheaper. Here, every time I use transportation, I use T-money, so I need to pay for each time I go around.
Right.
Since I go around a lot, I pay a lot, like around $80 a month. But in my home city, I can just pay for like one ticket for a month, and it's around $30. So transportation here, I pay more than in my home city.
But do you think the transportation here is maybe a little more efficient? And
It is way more efficient. I can go around everywhere, and there's bus and like subway. So yeah, it's way more efficient. I pay more, but yeah, it pays off because it's more efficient.
There's buses everywhere around in Korea. So if you're looking to move anywhere in Seoul, it would be pretty convenient for you. So I wouldn't worry about that. Subways as well.
what about for food? How much do you usually spend a month on? Okay, we've got a foodie here. Good.
Food is my weak spot. I think
Me too.
I love brunching.
Oh,
Who doesn't
yes.
love brunching?
Who doesn't love
So
brunching?
I brunch a lot with my friends, I eat with my boyfriend, so it does add up. And I'm also vegan on top of that. So, well, veggie. Sometimes I eat some seafood, but because of that, it does mean that I spend a lot on food.
Yeah, that must be a little bit kind of difficult in Korea though, because there's meat like so many things, so it must be a little hard to find food.
Hence the seafood sometimes.
Right.
You can spend, as a student, you can go to a bit cheaper places, but they're amazing because they're home cooked. And around you can spend like 6,000 to 7,000 at Kimbap Jongkook, and they have really good food, and that's around fairly 350 to 400 rupees. And if you go to bigger restaurants, probably like a 10,000 for a meal, which is 600, 700 rupees.
It's cheaper here for food or back home?
Oh, definitely back home. Because in India, you have a lot of street foods that are very fulfilling, and you don't have to spend a lot. In India, you would probably spend around if you have 2,000 won for a day, you can eat pretty much a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm talking about street food, guys. I'm not talking about restaurants, so don't come at me. I'm a big street food lover.
So it depends on what you eat. So I think if you eat Korean food, usually it must be cheaper. But when you buy maybe foreign food, for example, if I'm craving like some kind of pizza or like, it's gonna be way more expensive than in my home country. So yeah, it depends. But eating out in general here is less expensive than in my hometown. Here I would pay maybe for 2 people around $30, $40. In my home country, maybe $50, around that price.
Okay. So next I want to ask you guys, how much do you typically spend for communications? Like, I mean, for your phone and for internet?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap or affordable. I pay about 50,000 phone and internet included. I have 5G. I also have a hotspot. That's also free. I living here so long, you start building up these perks, and they start lowering your price as you become like a longer member. So I mean, internet here is awesome, guys. I mean, you stay in the States, you know how inconvenient that can be. So affordable and convenient, it's a win-win.
I'm currently using the plan from a company called Shingo Mobile, and I pay for 4 months together. So I pay 70,000 per month. For 4 months, and 70,000 roughly in Indian rupees would be around 3,500 rupees, which is something that I find affordable because I have unlimited internet, unlimited calls. I can give hotspot. I can use there's no limitation, no restriction. I can do whatever I want.
So you have unlimited internet access?
Yeah. I have unlimited
Amazing.
internet.
And the company I use is KT, by the way.
Me too, Katie, best.
KT.
Every month my phone bill is about 60,000 won.
Okay.
So pretty much the same as England. And internet, I've gotten used to hotspotting my laptop. I forgot about it, so I don't have Wi-Fi in my house. But I don't really find that I need that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, internet. Do you also find that the internet, like, there's so much Wi-Fi to be found around?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I connect automatically everywhere.
Yes. Oh, it's really comfortable for the internet here for sure. How about for entertainment? How much do you usually spend a month for entertainment?
Another guilty spot. Too much. Probably around 500,000 per month. But that's including like going out with my friends, a little bit of clubbing maybe.
Okay.
I dabble.
A little bit of that. I dabble in the club. Okay, good. You have to in Korea. Clubbing's so fun here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clothing too.
Yeah.
Lots of that. Jewelry, accessories.
Well,
So,
Korean fashion, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gangnam Station.
Right.
Shout out.
Yes, I love it. That's so good.
I'm pretty chill these days. I'm staying home. I have Netflix. I have Hulu. So and I have to pay an American dollar price for Hulu. So that price adds up a lot. So I'm paying with HBO and all these other services, it could be up to like 50,000 won for the month. But I have my shows, and I'm staying at home, and that's what I like. I may go to a movie every once in a while.
How much does it cost to go to a movie here?
The last thing I saw was Black Panther. It was IMAX and all that. It was for 2. It was about 40,000 with the popcorn. About 45. So it can add up. But for just a regular movie, around about 25, 30. I want to say. You're getting popcorn. Popcorn's about 6,000. It's a lot cheaper in the States. I mean. A movie day in America is a real date. So, but here, it's affordable to the point where you don't have to think about it and be like, man,
So entertainment, a month, just entertainment depending on the month, what I'm doing, but maybe around $50 to $100. So going around, for example, maybe like clubbing is not so expensive. Because in Italy usually we have entrance fee, so we pay around $20 to $30.
Yeah, right.
Here most of the time it's kind of free, depends on the area you go, but it's kind of like cheaper to go around and hang out. Drinks here is cheaper too. In my Milano I would pay around like $10 to $15 for even one beer. Here I pay like Chon which is like $5, I think.
For me, my entertainment is not exactly staying home because I'm working, so I don't really stay home. But on weekends, I really like going out, maybe probably to clubs or to bars. And since I'm drinking with my friends, can I include that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Please do. Please do.
So since I'm drinking with my friends and everything, so we order like alcohol and we have food. It's like called sulchip or pocha here, and you can go there. It's very cheap. You can find real good food there. And if you divide amongst everyone, like amongst my friends, I think we pay around 15 to 20. But it's okay to splurge on a weekend, so I don't really mind. And I think that's it for entertainment. I don't really do anything else apart from that. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's freezing today. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to ask you about basically is about education. So I know that, Maurice, you're not being educated here, right?
No.
But you are.
Yeah.
So tell us about education, the costs of education in Korea.
Okay, for me, I'm currently doing language school. I'm on D4 visa, and one semester costs me around 1.75 million won, but that is what is my parents paying for me, so I don't have to pay for it. And for my actual college that I'm going to start in March, the tuition fee was around 4.5 million, which is very cheap as compared to me thinking that I want to go to Canada. So it's very cheap.
So expensive in Canada.
Yeah. But as compared to India, it's expensive. But to be honest, I don't want to get schooled in India anymore. So I think for me, it's pretty affordable, and it's affordable as compared to other countries, and the education is very good here.
Yes, it is. What about your textbooks? How much do those cost?
Textbooks for this semester, like for Korean school, one textbook was around 17,000 won, which is probably 1,500 rupees, which is pretty expensive, but the textbooks are very detailed and they're written by the teachers themselves, and there's
Wow.
Yeah, and they actually changed the textbooks like 2 years ago, so they are even more detailed and more easier to understand now. I'm sorry, I cannot speak because it's so cold.
I know, it's really cold. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming out and bearing with this horribly cold weather today.
No worries.
Anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day. Get warm somewhere. Thank you. Wow, sorry, that's so cold. So good. Well, thank you so much for coming out today. We'll see you next time. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping and chatting with us today. Have an awesome day. Keep enjoying Korea. Hope you stay for a really long time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone. So I really hope that you were able to learn a lot with us today about the cost of living in Korea. And so in the future, if you want to come move to Korea, you'll know exactly what you need to know before you get here so you can get yourself prepared. So it's freezing outside. I'm gonna go in and get warm. And make sure that you subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and leave us some cute little comments below, please. Thank you so much for watching, and come back next time. Bye.